Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are officially live streaming, so give us just 1 second here. But thank you for coming on. My name is Daniel, if you don't know me, and yeah, appreciate you being on here. So this is your first time, and you're just getting to see some of my content. A little bit about me. I've been in this space for about 3.5 years now, but been running, my own business in the financial services industry alongside of my parents as a family business for the last my parents have been in this space for over a decade. And so I grew up a lot of just seeing things and working with clients and whatnot. And so for me, I really just wanted to give back because I think we can all agree that there's not a lot, well, not a lot. There's not enough good financial literacy content out there. And so hey, wanted to be one of those positive voices and just give information that I give to some of my clients. But I think things that we have questions about that maybe we're not finding the answers we're looking for. And so thank you for coming on again. I appreciate it. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends. Would really appreciate the support. So today's topic is going to be nice, short and sweet. But today's topic is, what are health spending accounts? How do they work? What does it look like? And what does that mean for me? Right? If you're watching, what does it mean for you? And whether you are an employee or whether you are a business owner, I'll be breaking down some of the, the aspects of it and whatnot. So what is a health spending account? So I'm going to share my screen with you guys and you guys can see what I am talking about. Perfect. Okay. So I'll just make this a little bigger. 1 second, folks. Beautiful. Now, a health spending account, and I guess before I get into this, I'm a licensed financial advisor. I'm licensed in several provinces. If you're watching this, I'm in Alberta. Yes, I am licensed to do this. Now, this company in particular, I know the bottom right, it says Blendable. I'm not in any way endorsing them for any specific reason. They're not paying me to do that. It just happens to be there. Okay. So great company though, nonetheless. Now, what is a health spending account, right? We see health spending accounts. It is also known as a health savings account, but the acronym is HSA, right? HSA. So what is it? Now, if you're an employee, here's what it is. If you're an employee, I guess, it's the same thing, but here's what it looks more so if you're an employee. If you go back a couple steps and if you recall my video from last week, but the previous one on, how do group benefits work? Traditional group benefits, right? You have a allocated limit you can spend for certain services and resources, right? So there's typically a limit for massage therapists, and then a separate limit for physiotherapists, and then a separate limit for dental, and a separate limit for vision, right? So they're all separate, right? And there's limits. Now, whatever you don't use, typically you lose, right? In a traditional group benefits plan, right? So, that you'll notice a push towards the end of the year. A lot of companies and clinics and stuff will say, hey, use up your benefits, or make sure that you type your card, or whatever that is, but they're going to encourage you to spend your benefits. Why? Because if you don't use it, you'll lose it, right? So you want to make sure that you use them up. Now, what is a health spending account or savings account? What is an HSA, right? How is that different? Now, this is the traditional group benefit side. What an HSA is every month that, your employer is paying into this account, they give it like a savings account, right? It goes into this account, and whatever money is in there, you can use to cover things that a traditional benefits package would cover. So an example would be, you go to a massage therapist here. Well, let's say you have a couple $100 in your, HSA. Let's say you got $200, and the massage therapist is $50 or $100. Well, as long as you have the money in the account, you can use that for the massage therapist. And now what's unique about it is you could use all of that money just for massage therapy, or you can use it all for acupuncture, or you can use it all to buy maybe certain prescription drugs, or or if you wanted to, what you can do is, let's say your employer is contributing $100 a month into this account. Well, you don't need to spend it. If you want to save up for, let's say, maybe a dental surgery that's coming up, or you want to save up for certain naturopath services, you can do that, right? You don't have to spend it all. And typically it depends how the plan is set up. But typically, whatever you don't use for that year will get rolled over to the next year. And it's really cool because, as an employee, you don't have to worry about spending it on things that you don't really need. Or even, if you really only use, your benefits for like dental, maybe vision, and that's about it. Well, it's like, well, what happens to the rest of my money, right? If I don't use my benefits typically in the traditional route, what happens to, what I've, because I mean, sometimes, right, employers will set up where an employee pays a little bit and the employer pays the rest. So it's like, hey, I've been paying into this plan, but what if I can't use it, right? What if I don't use it? So that sort of gets rid of that, where hey, if you don't use it, that's fine. You'll have it for next year, or use it all in just one thing, right? If you want to splurge on orthodontics, go ahead, right? You can do that. So it's flexible as an employee on what you would like to spend it on. Typically, how it works again is you pay for it out of pocket, then you take a picture of the receipt, you upload it to the company, right? And they'll reimburse you. Or also how it works is if you go to a professional or service consistently, the same one, right? Typically, it's like your dentist and things like that. What you can do is you can actually get them to sign a piece of paper for them to direct a bill, right? So that way, you just sort of be like, hey, I'm here. You let the company know, and they just direct a bill to your account. So nothing comes out of your own pocket, right? So you can set it up like that too if you go to clinics or services where you go consistently, okay? The one-offs, yes, you pay out of pocket, take a picture of the receipt, upload it, get subtracted from your account and reimbursed to you, tax-free, okay? There's a lot of companies that do this. So fees and things like that would vary from company to company, but typically there's a low fee for when you process a claim. And the reason why there's a fee is just it's a processing fee, right? And obviously a little bit of it is going to go to that company to make sure that they get paid. But it just provides a little less of a fee compared to a group benefits package, because with a group benefits package, from a business owner standpoint, with the group benefits package, is the business owner has no control over the cost. The insurance company does, right? Because it's based on group rates and how many people claim versus how many don't, and so you'll see a lot of the time over the years the rates will increase, right? Because people are claiming, and so you're going to see the increasing rates. Whereas here, you don't see an increase in rates because it's only based on what you contribute into the account as an employer. What the employer contributes to the HSA, that's it, right? So if the employer wants to contribute more, cool. If they want to contribute less, cool. The control is completely in the employer's hand, whereas traditional benefits, it's up to the insurance company. Now, I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just giving the information out there. What I've done with my clients is I've sort of done like a hybrid almost. I've done sometimes just an HSA, sometimes just, traditional benefits, let's say, or maybe a mix of both, right? You can do that. Now, with an HSA, what it does for the employer, for the business owner, it is 100% tax deductible, right? Like it says right here, 100% tax deductible, meaning whatever you contribute is a business expense, you can write it off, right? And what's really nice is, you're not paying as a business owner, you're not paying for benefits that your employees aren't using either, right? So, and there's no hidden costs, right? There's no startup or annual fees. And so when it comes time for renewal, you don't have to worry about a massive spike, right? Or taking a look at, oh my gosh, one person in my whole company is what causing everything else to go up, right? Because you got one person, right? You got one person that's maxing out everything. That will cause the overall rates to increase. Why? They're making more claims. That's more risk for the insurance company. So you're going to increase the overall premium, right? Whereas with an HSA, because they're individual accounts, it's not one big account for everyone. It's individual accounts per employee. If one employee maxes out and uses the whole thing, hey, now as the employer, as a business owner, you're like, I should either add more to their account, maybe take less or keep it the same. But it's nice because it doesn't affect anyone else's. Now the cons, right? Here's the thing: is the cons to getting an HSA would be, if you're someone that claims a lot, right? The cons would be you can only spend what you have in the account, right? If you need to spend more, then you're gonna have to pay out of pocket for that, right? Whereas maybe in a traditional group benefits plan, the max might be, let's say, 10 grand for prescription drugs, right? But after 1 year with an HSA, there's only 2 grand, right? That your employer that's been put in. So it's like, you use a lot of prescription drugs for medical reasons, but you're not able to, move up to the 10. You can only spend the 2. So in situations like that, where an HSA, you may not get the most value for the buck. Again, most bang for your buck. It just depends on the situation. Okay, but that's just an example. So those are the cons with an HSA, is the fact that you can only spend what you have, And, it's you pay for it out of pocket first, and then they bill you, right? Whereas traditional group benefits, typically you're given a card, you go and you tap it or you slide it or you show them it, and they just bill your account. And then that's that, right? So it's, maybe like one extra more step by submitting the receipt and whatnot. So those would be some of the like more realistic cons you might encounter is, what if you have more to spend that's in the account than that goes past the limit? And what if, and just the, slight inconvenience of taking a picture and uploading it, right? If it comes to that. Some of the cons, the pros in this case for the business owner, the pros is you control all the costs. You don't have to worry about rates increasing because you control the cost. So the risk is not, there's no risk in that case. Typically low admin fees, right? You pay only what's been claimed, and it's flexible, right? You can sort of tailor it to each employee and to sort of your needs every year, as the need arises. And from an employee standpoint, the pros is the fact that, you can choose what you want to spend it on. So it's flexible on how you spend it. And what's really nice is that what you don't use will get carried forward to the next year, which is really nice. So those are some of the pros and cons with a health spending account, also known as a health savings account, an HSA. So I hope that was a very, I don't want to, there's not really many crazy details to go over, but just to give you guys a bit of a snapshot as to, hey, what is an HSA? Does your employer offer that, right? And just, hey, it's good to find out, because sometimes, again, you might have a bit of a hybrid with your existing group plan. Is you might have a, the hybrid of the HSA with the traditional benefits. It might just be an HSA. So if you have any questions, please drop something in a comment or shoot me a message. I'd be more than happy to answer. But that was pretty much it. So like I said, today was nice, short and sweet, but it's giving a basic breakdown in a nutshell. What is an HSA? How does that work? What does it look like? And what are some of the pros and cons in that aspect? So I hope that was beneficial, you guys. Again, please like, subscribe, or follow, and be great. Stay blessed. Adios.